to talk fashion and sports. I used to play ball back in the day, so shit is natural to me.
You copped those red boots a few years ago?
Get the fuck out of here.
He was like, yo, no, you still think you G-Unit? You still think you G-Unit? This, that.
Yeah,
He was like, I don't give a fuck. These shit's as comfortable as me. And now it comes back around, I just be looking at niggas like, wow. Oh my God, so I went Knicks basketball, right? He signed the posters, and I was like, yo, you mind sign this for me? And the look he gave me, he was like, motherfucker, if he wasn't here, like I wouldn't sign it. And he saw the Knicks logo, and he looked at me, he was like, just handed it to me.
Hood nigga. So,
whenever you're ready, right?
Yeah, we ready.
Let's
3,
go.
2, 1.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Reemo, aka Mr. Riche Threads. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Fashion, powered by the JBT. We in season 2. I told y'all, new looks. We got shit shaking now. It's a little different setup.
Run that back real quick.
What happened?
Run it back real quick, because I had it on. Wow.
Oh, you want to go this solo?
I'm going to go solo.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Reemo, aka Mr. Riche Threads. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk Fashion, powered by the JBT Network. And y'all see the setup. I already told y'all, season 2, different shit. So we got the On the Road show, and we got a special guest, man. My man Darnell. What's up, baby? How we doing?
Good. Doing well, man. Blessed to be here.
I appreciate you joining us. For those that don't know, I'm not gonna tell you. He is. Who's Darnell?
First and foremost, Queens kid for life. Queens get the money, always and forever. Co-host of the What You Thought podcast. You may have seen it a few times. Shout out to Pop, Reg, Baif, all the guys that's always with me doing that. Been working in TV production and marketing for 17 years now? Maybe, so I've been around for a little bit. Got a history in...
Niggas getting old.
Yeah, I'm up there. In sports, sneakers, some game shows, TV. I kind of been around, so I got some stories.
Okay.
Got some stuff.
Let's jump right into it.
Let's do it.
We ain't gonna give them the backstory, but we're gonna give them the beginning story.
All right.
You said sneakers, fashion. This is the fashion podcast mixed with a little bit of culture, mixed with some sports, and you kind of intertwine and all that.
Uh-huh.
But what's your earliest memory of either sneaker, fashion that made you say, I want to be a part of this?
Oh, early sneakers. My mom's got me a pair of white and cement threes when I was younger. And like there's baby pictures of me, like she had me like different type of Jordans and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Then, but I just remember those threes.
Yeah.
Definitely stand out as like a moment, like, oh, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't really know, I knew like certain sneakers. I know the logo of Jordan. I didn't know the numbers and stuff like that. I'm probably at the time, because it was the first time they retroed the three. So what's that? In the early 90s. Remember when they retroed in the early 90s?
Maybe
early
like
mid-90s?
99-ish, maybe.
Before that, they retroed them. They retroed the ones and the threes in like the early to mid-90s.
You're right, because they used to be downtown Brooklyn with the little metal thing, and nobody wanted them shit.
Yep.
That's a fact.
So I think that is like sticks out to my mind. And then when I start to like remember like, oh, I need these. Like the first time I felt like I need a pair of sneakers, I gotta go get these right now.
Yeah.
Because before you just went and kind of picked out what was in the store, kind of saw what was there.
Mm-hmm.
The questions, the white and blue toe, right?
96.
Yep. With the kind of like
Beehive joint.
And it had the laces, so they don't usually come with the laces no more, with the little flakes in them, with the the reflective flakes or whatever. And I was like, nah, I need those. And I remember going up and down Jamaica Avenue with my parents to find those sneakers. And that's one of the moments when I was like, oh, all right.
I enjoy this.
Yeah, that's when I started paying more attention to like, all right, what the players got on. Because like
during that time, AI was he was just different. He was us. He was a nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying? And he walking around, afroed out, his mom braiding his hair and before practice.
Like how people see Steph Curry now, they think, oh, short guy, they see it's like attainable. Yeah. To me, I was like, Allen Iverson looks short. He's like my cousin. Like, I can make this happen. But then I started paying attention, like, oh, what's the sneakers on the floor? Shit. Yeah. But I started paying attention, like, oh, all right. What is he wearing? You know what I mean? I was like, all right, those are the questions. Found out about those sneakers, have to get them. Because you got to think, then it was really only Eastbay. You could get and
Eastbay was,
it was.
Eastbay.
But the thing with Eastbay, it was always behind a few months, right? Because the players got it on first. So you see them wearing it, and then Eastbay gets it the following month or 2 months later. So I was always watching, like, oh, what they're wearing. And then I'm going in the store trying to find it and stuff like that. So I think that's when, like, my earliest memories of, like, needed sneakers. I remember Jordan came out with a pair of women's sneakers. He retroed them maybe like 2-3 years ago.
The what was it?
Nah, they weren't a signature sneaker. They were literally called Jordan Women's back in the day.
They were black and white?
They were black and white. They had black and white and they had white in Carolina.
Who they chose to wear those though?
I can't remember. I feel like Cheryl Swoops might have worn a few times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Cheryl Swoops.
But I remember walking in the store, and this is when the 13s was out. Because if you look, they kind of have the same kind of like stitching on it.
Yeah, with the little circle joints in. But that hologram was just different.
Yeah, the hologram was different.
For whatever reason. That shit.
Right.
Damn, yo. See the people already know my storyline when it comes to my sneaker. My mom's West Indian is a motherfucker. Boy. She bought me some rejects. Some Air Olympians from Payless. Man, the goddamn tongue fell out that shit. I'm sitting there getting teased and all types of shit in the playground. Pops was like, man, let's go pick something up. Yeah. Them 8s. Them 8s was it.
What color?
It was the black and purple.
The aqua
joints. And I rebought them as a grown adult now. Now they just sit there and I don't even wear them. I got so much shit that I don't even.
It's crazy. I got like 4 or 5 pair of questions in my closet. Anytime they come out with the red or the blue, I buy them.
Yeah.
I don't even wear them.
Bro, to the point where like AI was our idol. And he didn't wear nothing that fit him.
Oh, nothing.
3X tees, and he was legit.
He's still kind of like that.
6'1", 6 feet maybe, if that.
Ew.
You know what I mean?
When he's talking about Iverson, I probably met Iverson 5-6 times now. Yeah. All right. The first time I met him, I used to work at Showtime.
Okay.
So we had did a documentary on Allen Iverson, and like my department kind of did like the promo and stuff like that for it. So he came to the office, and they were like, "Yo, Iverson's like signing posters and shit like that." Yeah. So I'm like, "All right, I gotta be." I'm like, "They ain't tell me." I was literally in the office when I find this out. So I was like, I would have came up with the sneakers. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I had Knicks basketball on my desk from like he went to one of the games and like they give it out kind of thing. And I was like, oh my God. So I went with the Knicks basketball, right? He signed the posters and I was like, yo, you mind sign this for me? And the look he gave me, he was like, motherfucker, if he wasn't here, like I wouldn't sign it. And he saw the Knicks logo and he looked at me, he was like, just handed it to me.
Hood nigga, man.
So fast forward from that, I think I probably met him again at like a fight or something like that. And then I did some other stuff where I ended up meeting him. I met him in the Reebok offices this time, right? So at Reebok, we're there and they're like, oh, like you need us to like ask the questions or this and that. I'm like, nah, I'll be good. Like I have no problem. He walks in there and he sees me like, yo, what's up? And inside, I'm like, oh shit.
That's the homie.
I just remember me.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, like the little kid in me, that was probably the most excited I've ever been to, like, cause you're around people, you see them, whatever, you know, and I always keep like a calm kind of thing.
Yeah.
Cause I want you to see me as a peer, not as a fan. You know what I mean? Like, I'm a coworker at best. You know what I mean? Like,
thanks.
You know, if we become friends, whatever, but like, I'm not like a fan, you know, like, cause they just view you differently that way.
Yeah, cause they kind of like sheltered a little bit. And They don't really open up and be themselves. Yeah. I hate that fake personality shit too. Like, don't give me corporate you.
Yeah.
I can't really do that.
Yeah, but then and I was like, oh shit, it's lit.
Yeah. So, like, that's a time that, you know, time to be alive. But what's your current status with like fashion? Like, how you enjoying it at the moment?
I'm almost a little bit like unplugged.
Shit.
And I'll tell you I feel like I just got to an age and something like where like I start to think of different things, and I'm just like the ease of like, oh, this is what I like and this is what I have. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I go to that, and I'm very like nostalgic person. Like I like to buy stuff that have like meaning to me. Like a lot of times you'll probably see me and I have on like a graphic tee, right?
Yeah, something simple.
And it'll be like belly t-shirt or like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's not that like I think the t-shirt's the flyest t-shirt. I'm like, I know it just means something to me.
Yeah.
Cause I remember watching Belly and seeing like, oh no, I know that's Rocheville.
Yeah.
I know that's Farmers. You know what I mean? And like, so I try to buy stuff that means something to me instead of just like buying stuff.
That shit is weird. Right now, fashion is so crazy because, you know, I'm a designer as well.
Yeah.
But it's like I took a step back to really check out the landscape. I needed a break. Because it felt like as though people between the scammers was just crazy.
Yeah.
But it just felt as though
mad fake denim tears and shit.
Yeah, it's just like it's a lot of label-y things going on, and then like each like hot brand kind of has like a moment, like a hot 4 to 6 months, and then people go on to the next one.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, let it reallocate itself, and you know what I'm saying? So I jumped in on the podcast wave, so but I could talk fashion and sports. I used to play ball back in the day, so shit is natural to me.
You copped those red boots a few years ago?
Get the fuck out of here. Hell no. Hell, anything mischief, I want no parts of. I don't do anything hype beasy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just like nostalgia wise. Like, I like certain pieces. I'm wearing a jersey today because I like jerseys.
Yeah.
They coming around, they comfortable. In summertime, they got holes in it. I like to be practical. Anything that's going to make me feel uncomfortable, tight, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm old now.
Yo, it's mad funny. So, you know, a few years ago, skinny jeans and like the fitted jeans and shit was in. I never switched. I always wore baggy jeans. He was like, yo, you still think you G-Unit? You still think you G-Unit? This, that. And she was like, I don't give a fuck. These shits as comfortable as me. And now it comes back around, I just be looking at niggas like, wow.
Taking all that shit.
That's how y'all feel.
Here we go.
Yeah,
you know,
man.
I play with, you know, different silhouettes based on wearing shoes, wearing boots, but like, I just don't get crazy. Like the viral moments, I'm not searching for those.
Oh, no.
I'm too old for a viral moment.
Where does your style influence come from? Because, you know, your style influenced a lot of people.
Bro, it's like the only thing I could say that's ever influenced me, I'd take a photo of a homeless person and put that together in designer. But that's it. Like, homeless people, definitely one of the flyest peoples in New York, for sure. Yeah.
And then I think I gotta be respectful of, you know, who watches, but I'm not painting my nails and I'm not wearing mascara, I'm not gothic and none of that shit. This is lane for everybody. It's not my fucking lane though. So
yo, and the crazy part with the nail painting and shit like that, a lot of times I'm like, yo, that's not even really you. You know what I mean?
It's a phase or a fad that they chase.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's crazy that you willing to go that far. That you like, I'm gonna paint my nails now. I'm gonna wear mascara now. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm good on that.
Yeah, because next is lingerie or some shit like that. It's gonna be spooky out here.
That's De La Hoya fishnet shit.
Yeah.
So being that we around the same age or whatever the case might be, do you have somebody that you say was like the GOAT in that space, in the fashion space?
It's gonna throw a lot of people for a loop.
Shoot.
Nas.
Yo, you so Queens biased. I gotta appreciate it though.
But here's why.
Shoot.
I'm gonna tell you Nas. Cause Nas never tried nothing different. Right? He evolved, but he didn't try anything different. Like he was like Nas ain't painting his nails.
Nah, but Nas did have like a weird hair thing at one point where it was like a little twisty.
Oh, the little twist braids like that. It was there, but he still had the half moon part.
Okay, all right, yeah, I give you that.
And like even now, like now he's just like a cool, but he's a cool old nigga. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He always like I would agree with you with that. He was like he never looked like out of his element. Yeah, he was never like trying like too hard. He was never like not trying. He was just like this is how I show up and I'm cool. Comfortable. You know? Yeah, I can go with that.
That's why I
would say for me it was more Kanye before Kanye went to whatever he at now. Yeah. Because he kind of like that whole retro Jordan wave. He was one of the pioneers of that. But he made it comfortable and like nerdy and then like follow that trend.
I think Kanye got caught up in trying to
Be different.
Yeah, be a pioneer too much.
Yeah, cause he lost me after a while. He just like I'm not part of the. I'm purposely looking home. I have a house. Like,
You know when he lost me? The Rosewood movement, or remember they wear suits?
the who?
Rosewood movement, or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Everybody got to wear suits and this, and I was like,
Yeah.
come on, man.
But hold on, we could back up with that one. Jay-Z lost me back in the day when he was making everybody wear button-up shirts to the club. I was not feeling that at all.
Let's be honest. Everybody like Hove,
Yeah,
right? One of the greatest rappers.
worst dresser.
Come on.
Worst dress. I could admit
Yeah.
that. And I'm from Brooklyn, but
Nobody's trying to.
I can't admit that. Yeah,
I'm from Queens,
yeah.
right? Literally, like, grew up 4 or 5 blocks from 50, right?
Oh, he's another one. Yeah. He 50 dressed like he work at the gym.
Yo, you know, you could tell that motherfucker don't waste no money on a stylist.
Yeah, I ain't mad at it. Well, what I would say, he does
be
well
having
with
bad
suits.
fitteds.
With suits, he does good. No?
Like, he got to stick to, like, the solid suits. He be trying to do, like, some prints and some
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, just when when he goes to like talk about power or whatever, he's one bland color because he's boxy already. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
he got to wear the blazer with the white tee and some jeans. And
But he's like pigeon toe or something, so he look kind of crazy with that too. But I ain't gonna say nothing to
50
him.
really crazy, though.
But yeah, I wouldn't really say nothing to him directly
Yeah.
about that. You know what I'm saying? But let's just jump into some of this production talk.
Uh-huh.
Because you like skimmed over it or whatever the case
Yeah.
is. But you worked on a couple big projects, but
Yeah. So I'll go way back. So probably 15, 16 years old. Right? When I was a kid, watched a ton of TV with my mom, my grandma. Right? I'm talking about old shit. Welcome Back, Kotter.
yeah.
Archie Bunker, Sanford and Son. Like, I watched a bunch of shit like that. Wheel of Fortune and what's
Price
it?
is
Whammy,
Right.
Price is Right,
yeah.
all that shit. Happy Days, all that stuff. So I always had like this interest in it, and I always used to want to write sitcoms. I was like, I want to write sitcoms. So I remember being like 15, 16. I told my English teacher, like, yo, that's what I want to do.
Yeah.
He was like, well, you got to get nice with like English and all types of stuff like that. Yeah, whatever. Get to college, and I'm like, all right, it was TV and film,
Yeah.
or it was like TV and radio. With 2 options, right? And then there's communications. That's like kind of covers both.
Yeah.
And I was a huge Starbuck Wild fan. Remember Starbuck Wild?
Crazy niggas. Yeah.
Shout out to Star. Huge Starbuck Wild fan. And I was like, And then I just started, it was the same time like satellite radio had dropped.
Yeah. Oh, for those that don't know, Starbuck Wild, it was on the syndication on Hot 97 back in the day.
Yeah,
And
but
everything they did was like
Nationwide after a while.
crazy sensational. Like they were one of the peoples that you could say did not give a fuck in the beginning.
They truly did not give a fuck.
They didn't care, but it worked.
Yo, so Starbuck Wild, they used to have this thing called Slapfest.
Yeah, I do.
Now there's Power Slap.
Yeah,
And I was like, that's crazy. They were doing that 25 years ago.
yeah.
But not to get off track. So I decided to go with communications, which kind of covered like both. And took some screenwriting classes and stuff like that. And then I started to hear about the politics of it. And teachers like, yeah, you got to know somebody, and then you got to work at an agency probably for a while and read a bunch of scripts and do this. And being young and kind of like impatient,
Yeah.
when I heard the journey that it takes and this and that, I got to talk myself out of it,
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah.
And then there was like some on-air reporting and stuff like that. Took some classes for that, for journalism. And then it was like, oh yeah, you know, you got to move to like Arkansas or like,
Fuck out of here.
yeah, South Dakota or something like that for like 10 years and do news down there before you get to move to like one of the bigger cities.
Yeah.
And you make like 25,000 or 20. I was like, no way am I doing that for 10 years.
And I'm from a big city already?
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
And again, it's like talking yourself out, you know? So I ended up taking a bunch of film classes, TV and film, watched a bunch of movies, TV, cinematography, all types of stuff like that.
Yeah.
But at this point now, I'm like, I don't know what I want to do in the space. I just don't want to be in that space, you know? So talking to professors and stuff like that, and they're like, oh, well, you got to start out as a production assistant. You got to get a job as a PA on set somehow. So my mother and I was listening to, I was just listening to Wendy Williams and Charlemagne.
Yeah,
was on it then.
Charlemagne's crazy.
So they put out like a ad or they on whatever a read on the radio, and they're like, "Yo, we're looking for interns for this movie we're doing about Wendy Williams' life."
Yeah.
This and that. He was like, "Yeah, we need 5, whatever, this and that." So, all right, called up, and they was like, "Yeah, all right, cool. Pull up tomorrow at this location at this time." Like, all right, cool.
That's wild.
Show up, and I literally remember working on the film, right? And I can kind of start like see how things work. Like, oh, all right, that's what the gaffer does. That's what the grip does. The AD is the one that yells at everybody. That's like
Gaffer and grip sounds crazy, just generally.
Pause, by the way.
Sounds wild. Go ahead.
And like start to learn what everybody does. And it wasn't like fully union. It was like some sketchy shit they doing. So they let you like, oh, you want to learn about the lights, you know?
Yeah.
So you were able to do stuff like that. Robin Givens was actually playing Wendy Williams in the movie. Mad funny.
Yeah.
She was super nice, by the way. But I remember being there and was able to pick up and tell, oh, this isn't going well.
Yeah.
By like how people were like frantic on set, kind of. And then it just like things weren't organized. Like they tried to use the minivan's headlights to front like it was a Benz, and I was like, that's not gonna work. But I was good at it. I was a good PA because it was one of those.
It sounded like you paid attention to details early.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm one of those people that like obsess over something. Like, oh, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I said, no, I'm gonna obsess and like really learn about it. So the way it worked was like they call you back, they give you a call sheet for the next day, this and that. Some people don't get a call sheet. They don't say nothing. You know what I mean? Like I was always got called back day after day. And I remember I thought the assistant director hated me.
Yeah.
He was yelling at my name and you know what I mean? And this and that. Like once they sent me to do something while I was watching cars, right? I have to make sure that no cars were like parked on the block or whatever, because it was like a period piece.
Okay.
So they said, yo, go get this. And I run. I come back, somebody parks a car there. And they mad at me. And I'm like, yo, I couldn't, you know, I swear this AD hated me. So we have like this rap parties at the end of every shoot, whatever. So talking to her, she's like, yeah, I got another gig. You know, I want you to come work. And I was like, yo, you know, I thought you hated me. And she goes, nah. She goes, I like it. I just have to be like that on set. And she was like, you were the best PA because you were always present, but you're never in the way. And that's something that I've always taken.
Carried on with you.
Yeah, because sometimes a lot of people, they want to be seen so bad or like
do too much.
You're in the way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're there and you're patient and you got the skill, this and that, you'll know when it's right. Like, here's where I can do something and I can impact. Sometimes you just want to be involved and you don't have an impact. Then you're in the way.
Like for me, like I can't take too much of a people person. Like, I like people, but so I don't like to talk to everybody.
No, I feel you on that.
But I like you know what you got to do, or I know what I got to do. I do what I do, and just
I was like that probably until a few years ago.
Yeah.
And I started opening up because especially with the podcast, like people walk up to me now and talk to me. And at first, like I'm like a kind of standoff person, and then I started to realize like, yo, no matter what, like talking to people. The worst case, nothing. You know what I mean? But sometimes you talk to people like, yo, I learned something, whether it's what to do or what not to do. So I kind of became better with like talking to people.
Yeah, conversation.
Yeah. But from the Wendy Williams thing, from there I went and I did, I think it was Sarah Jessica Parker had like work of art or something like that. It was like an art competition show.
What?
That I worked on. Yeah, I worked on a bunch of random stuff. I worked on Fighting, which was like a ripoff of Fight Club, and it was
like bare knuckle type shit.
It was a movie.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah, not actual combat stuff.
Oh,
right?
I was about to say, damn, that's gory.
But that was Channing Tatum and Terrence Howard, and I got the job from Terrence Howard.
I think I seen that.
You probably seen it.
I think I did see that.
Yeah, it's like a ripoff of Fight Club.
Okay.
So I got that job because my mother was walking down the street, saw Terrence Howard. People like, oh, Terrence Howard, this and that. I'm like, yo, my son is like a PA. He's looking for a gig or whatever.
Yeah.
And Terrence was like, oh, all right, go in there, speak to so and so, tell them Terrence sent you.
Just like that.
Just
so
like
you got
that.
like the best fucking luck in the world.
You know that's not. I don't even know if it's luck. I think I've always been prepared. I do my best to be good.
Dog.
To people.
Your mother asked a question it's a go. Who the fuck walks up to Terrence Howard and say it was a go?
But
you call the radio station. Like how much? I tried to call the radio station my whole life as a kid, and it wasn't happening. I always got the busy signal.
Yeah, no, I probably got the busy signal a few times, but I kept calling. So my mother thing, the crazy part about my mother, she's afraid of her own shadow. But I genuinely think because it's me, that she was like, oh, I could.
Yeah.
Boom.
Gotta love moms.
Yeah. So I get a call. I don't even know who this is. Like, yeah, this is. Like, yeah, all right, yeah, come to set tomorrow for this. And I'm like, all right. My mother called me out like, oh, you should be getting this call. And I was like, oh, well, I got it already, you know?
Yeah.
When did that? And I was still in school at the time.
In college.
So I'm going to college. Yeah. And if you know anything about film sets and TV, they say 12-hour days.
All day shit, yeah.
They really be 14 to 16 a lot of times.
I was trying to get hired as an extra my whole life. Like, just let me just walk by a car or something like that. No, I got to be there all day for that too?
Sometimes. Damn. Yeah, they sit you there and you just wait, and when they need you, they're like, all right, we need some extras. But otherwise, you just sit around all day.
Food on set looks good.
Depends on the set.
Oh.
I'll be honest, depends on the set.
Right.
So I go there, never spoke to Terrence Howard or anything, obviously, right? And I'm just a PA, and I was good again.
Yeah.
Hiring me, you know? Okay. So from there, I started to get people. Then I got somebody's working on the talk show. They called me to work, you know?
Yeah.
And I was always kind of like in the mix that way. And then I get out of school, and Star comes into play again.
Yeah.
So Star at the time is doing the show at Vlad TV. Early ages of Vlad TV, like year 2.
Yeah.
And Star said something about he needs an editor, intern, and this and that. I said, all right. Sent him an email. He put his email up and all.
Yeah.
I'm sending an email. You know, like, I got so used to sending mass emails and stuff like that, and like getting rejected and, you know, or like no response. I didn't really care about sending an email at the time. Now I actually have email anxiety, but that's a real thing.
Yeah.
So send Star the email. Star hits me back in like 5 minutes. I'm like, yo, pull up Friday or whatever day it was. All right, cool.
Yeah.
I'm there. So I'm there, and I go into the space, and I already see where I can impact and improve. Right? So boom, I shot one of it, edit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Took a liking to me. So he was like, oh yeah, like always wanted to have me around. And he also probably because it was free at the time, you know?
Free as me.
So from there, and then Vlad was like, oh, this motherfucker knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So then Vlad started to like, oh, like.
Take a liking to you.
Yeah, come, you can work on this and do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Type of stuff. And at the time, I'm like, I'm just trying to get some money and like, you know what I mean? And back then it was like, you could charge people to post shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So doing that, I met one of my good friends there, by the way. It was literally 3 of us that worked there. It was Vlad, me, and one other guy. Basically worked there. And we was running around, filming stuff, getting interviews with everybody, going to shows, whatever it was, right?
Yeah.
To kind of keep the site up and running. And then it got to a point where it was like, we kind of saw like, this ain't going how we...
Sustainable type shit?
Not even that sustainable. Because we saw it was sustainable. We believed in the site. We genuinely did not like working with Vlad.
Oh, okay.
Right? And it was like, yo, this ain't it. Like, and like...
What was it though? Like, that you didn't enjoy?
I felt like he lied a lot. Okay. And it was like, you know, like sometimes you catch people in lies. Yeah. And then sometimes there's like, I get that we don't own the business. You're the business owner, right?
Yeah.
And now somebody that's part of a business owns the business. I know the difference.
Yeah.
You know? But there's still gratitude of people that you work with. You know what I mean? No matter...
People that help it grow as well. Yeah,
no matter the money exchange and this and that.
Yeah.
I'm still grateful for your skill, your talent, for you taking your time, for you even being open to doing this job.
Correct.
And I felt like gratitude was lacking in that situation. And it was a shared feeling because the other guy felt that way. One day, I forgot what it was, but like a post was late or something like that, and he's used to type emails and put everything in the title, not even in the body of the email.
Shit.
And I was like, this motherfucker. So my friend got on. I said, you saw that email? I said, yeah. I said, yeah, I'm out this. Fuck this shit. He said, yeah, word, I'm out too.
Oh yeah, I did.
Just dipped.
Left him dry.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta let people know your worth.
Yeah.
By sending messages.
Yeah, and I'm sure it made both of us better. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
And then from there, I went and I got back into like PAing. You know what I mean? Did this show called the Jeremy Kyle Show, like the British version of Jerry Springer.
Oh, Lord.
I did that for like a few episodes and dipped. And I remember they were mad that I was leaving because I ended up getting another gig. But in between that, I did, of course, the Millionaire. I did that for a season.
I actually like that show.
Yeah, so I was like around. And then I remember one of the last PA gigs I did was an overnight cooking show. And it was one of those things that were supposed to be like, oh yeah, we get there at 12, we're out by 10.
Yeah.
I saw people go to work and come home. So it was like 12 to like 8 or 9 the next day.
Oh, fuck that.
And I was like, yeah, I don't want to do that. Like, I started to realize I don't like the huge, like, big sets.
Open windows and, tight windows or large windows. Like, you had it all.
Yeah, I like the small crew when it's like...
Yeah, intimate.
5 of us going to get in, like, shoot a documentary. Like, I like stuff like that. So, I remember saying, I was like, yeah, that's my last one. Like, I'm going to find something else to do. Like, I don't know, And I don't know, maybe then I was like selling cable to a door, but I had like, whatever it was, I was like, found something. And then I get a call from Showtime. And I applied to Showtime 6-7 months before that.
Yeah.
And at the time when I applied, my contact, the woman who I also got through my mother just randomly talking to somebody on the train.
Oh, shout out to mom.
Shout out to my mom. So I call and she's like, yeah, I'll call back in 6 months because that's when this current PA's contract is going to be up. We probably not going to hire him. Or she was like, call in 3 months, whatever, and I'll call. And she was like, yo, call me in 5 months, 6, whatever it was. And I would just always remember to call whenever the time.
Yeah.
But then one day I just randomly get a call. It's like, yo, come in for this interview. I said, all right, cool. Went to the interview. Did the interview. Didn't meet the person I was talking to the whole time.
Yeah.
I think I did 2 interviews, maybe 1 or 2 interviews, and then they were like, "Yeah, you got the job." I called a woman, and I'm like, "Yo, like, you want to meet outside before I go in for the first day? Because like I know you, like, outside? Gave my name. Yeah, like outside the building, so we look like we know each other. Like you say hi, some random.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Nah, I told them I didn't know you did that on your own."
Oh wow.
And it was lit. And I remember being there, and it was like, it was high produced stuff, but a very small team. Like the entire sports department, as far as like production wise, might have been 7-8 people.
Oh wow.
And we did inside the NFL promos, inside NASCAR at the time. We did any like sports documentaries we used to do. We did at the time it was Fight Camp before it turned to All Access.
Yeah.
We did when you watch the boxing event and you see like the 2 or 3 minutes of like training there at home with their kids, like leading up to the fight. They're called features.
Okay.
We did all of those. And I started out as PA. But like the only thing below me at that point is an intern.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I don't really want to be a PA. But there's a different type of PA. That's a PA within like a network and all type of stuff like that. Man, when I tell you, it was rough.
Yeah.
Because one, I think being black in that space is different. Because they're like, honestly, in the whole creative department, so now I'm even talking the series department. So now let's say we expand this like 60 people.
Yeah.
Maybe 5 black. It wasn't a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm then like, they would just give me all the, like, you gotta copy all these drives, terabytes, and you know what I mean? Like a bunch of shit. And it's like more like at the desk doing stuff. Like I wasn't like in the field as much as I wanted to doing stuff like that. And I'm like, damn. So again, I observe a lot of shit, pay attention.
Copy.
So I'm there, and I remember there was this one guy who was the step above me. So he was the associate producer. Lazy as shit.
That's how it usually be though. It be the most productive one, really carrying the flag, but they get the credit.
Lazy as shit. So then I knew, like, once I got the feel of things, I was just basically like, all right, so I know this is due for every fight. It's a formula. You do the same things every fight. And I knew every time his part of it that he was supposed to do, which was like these like sizzle highlight reel kind of things.
Yeah.
We're never on time. I always late. Like, oh, I didn't know I had to do this. Like, you know.
Shit.
So, all right, I got something for them. I made one, right? And I used a different formula than he did, and you know. Are you in the MMA at all? Or combat sports?
Touch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Me too, but. Because Bellator was still a thing that, or it wasn't. What was it? Strike Force.
Yeah. I remember that.
Right. So Luke Rockhold was like the guy in Strike Force, like a new guy coming, and he was the one that we had to do the sizzle for. That I knew it was going to be needed.
Yeah.
This guy waited till last minute to have it, and he's like, "Oh, we need something." And I was just like, "Oh, well, I got something."
Yeah.
And I showed it to. Funny enough, this guy who was another guy who I felt hated me, right? But I just realized that's his way of dealing with people. Like try to see if like they could withstand shit.
Try to break you.
Yeah, it's mad weird. It's like some weird white boy hazing shit. So I showed it to him and he was like, "Oh, that's good." Then he went to the creative director at the time. Was like, "Oh, well, we could use this." Like, he was like, "Oh, who made that?" He's like, "Oh, Darnell made that."
Yeah.
All right. And now I know the lazy motherfucker don't want to do it. So now I got y'all now because now y'all depending on this and I'm the guy who makes it.
Yeah.
You know? So I kind of took that over as like a PA. Like that was my thing. And the way they did contracts like 18 months. And I remember hearing a conversation in the office and it's like one of the same guy who was like a pain in the ass, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was like, "Yo, we should start taking them like on the road," and like the PAs on the road. And he was like, "Why? They're not gonna be here in 6 months." That's the creative director said to him.
That's crazy.
Mind you, I sit like 2 desks from him. I'm like, this motherfucker got to be kidding
Fuck
me.
that little nigga.
And I'm like, I'm getting tight. You know what I mean? I'm like, how? Like I'm killing this. Like I'm good at this.
See what I did?
Yeah, like I'm like elite. Like shit is functioning. You know. And then when it was time, they didn't promote me. They extended my.
Yeah.
And now like the more when shit like that happens to me,
You want to be out.
the more, not only that, I think now I'm more like, oh, well, I'm not valued here.
Yeah.
Whereas then it was like, I had a lot of ego. So now it's like, I'm prove some shit to y'all motherfuckers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then I started advancing where it was like, oh, all right, that's not enough now. So then I started cutting full on 30 and 45-second commercials
Yeah.
that go on. And mind you, at the time, you have the footage, you take it downstairs to an editor to edit.
Oh, you was doing the shit yourself?
Doing it myself. I'd wait till at night and I'd go downstairs in the room and use that edit facilities, whatever I had to do.
Yeah.
And a friend of mine, we became friends, but he was a full-blown producer at the time. So they would give him projects, right? And he was like kind of past, like he wanted to do other stuff, you know? So he was like, "Yo, you got this, like you want to do it?" I do the project. And he would go and let them review it. And they'd be like, "Oh yeah, it's good," and everything like that. And he'd be like, "Oh yeah, Darnell did it."
Oh yeah, at least he gave you the credit.
Yeah.
Cause motherfuckers will put their name on some shit and hand it like it was dead.
Nah, he used to give me credit.
Okay.
He always gave me credit for stuff like that. So then, the lazy dude, only a matter of time, you know what I mean?
Cut him.
He kind of got forced after a while.
Okay.
Where it's like he got regulated to like nothingness kind of thing.
Oh.
And he found like a new job somewhere else doing something else. So they was like, "All right, cool. Associate producer now. All right, I'm gonna start cooking here." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, all right, I see that part. Now I'm gonna go figure out the other part, which was like the features and going on shoots and stuff like that. So as a PA, you start to go on like shoots, but it's usually like fight week stuff. So during fight week, they send you and you do all like the media workout and like all the stuff that people don't want to do.
Yeah.
Then the fancy stuff. So.
But the fans enjoy that shit though.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They do. That's where you meet everybody.
Okay.
Because you go to the media workouts, that's where everybody who's involved. You got the promoters there. You got the PR people there. You got managers there. Other fighters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you meet the
everybody there.
Everybody, yeah.
Which helps because then you start to form relationships and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So then I'm like, all right, now it's time to figure out the feature shoots, which is basically like shooting them in their house and doing other stuff like that. So I started to like go on those shoots and get to go on those shoots, like find my way doing that.
Yeah.
Got good at that, you know? And then the guy who was like a mentor, friend to me, ends up leaving. Because at this point, I should give some context as far as like what's going on in the fight world.
Okay.
For you guys. So when I first get there, it's Danny Garcia versus Eric Morales. Eric Morales' last fight So it's the second fight because I think Danny beat him the first one. They fought the second time. Danny knocks him out in the Barclays. Spin around. First ever boxing fight at the Barclays was that card.
I think
I was there.
Yeah.
So as I become an AP, Floyd signs. So I'm associate producer. Floyd comes to Showtime.
Okay.
So he signs like 5 fights, 6 fights, whatever. And I'm like, oh, it's lit.
Yeah.
So then, so I got to do like some of Floyd's stuff. Did some of Floyd's like press tours and stuff like that. Like, cause there was so many cities, we'd break up the cities.
Yeah, break it up.
You got to do like some interviews with Floyd, obviously on set and other stuff like that.
What's it like working with him? Cause like he gives off a different like he's cool, but he's an asshole. It's like
exactly how you described it.
Okay.
And then you realize like, yo, this person.
Yeah, he's human.
You know what I mean? You gonna have bad days, and they're probably more prone to have bad days because there's so much work, and so much people in your face. You know what I mean? Like,
and they be aggy as a motherfucker, being that they cutting weight and they got to do this and run around here.
Floyd never really struck. Floyd always maintained. So I don't think that's why it was. I think even as a people person, there's but so much talking and stuff that you could do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you try and go to the mall or the movies, and
it's hard. You can't really move around.
Even if it's just something as simple as like, yo, I'm just trying to like
get some toilet paper.
Yeah.
Like Floyd Mayweather, the greatest athlete on earth right now, man. So protect him is like damn near like protecting the president at some point.
Yeah, but the cashier wants to talk to you for 15 minutes, 20 minutes, like, you know. So a lot of times, motherfuckers just be drained. They be tired. So I realize like not to take that personal.
Yeah.
And I found that a lot of like the professional athletes and fighters, there's 2 ways that they interact with me as like being black. Cause a lot of them are black and minorities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And at the time I'm in my 20s, a lot of them's in their 20s, and you know what I mean? It's like, oh, what you do here? Like, you know what I mean? I remember sometimes they said,
I'm him.
Not at all. I wasn't him, but I always kept it real with them.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them the truth. Like, yo, here's what we need you to do. You know what I mean? This and that. And I'll be like, yo, don't do that because they're going to look at you differently. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a lot of them start to like befriend me in a way it was like, oh, Darnell's here. Like, it's like we like him. We'd rather him be here kind of thing.
Okay.
And through that, I start to be able to realize like this is where all the connections of like when you're in the scrum.
Of all like
come to it.
Other media outlets and shit.
You meet people. And now when like, oh, y'all struggling to get in contact with a fighter or schedule something or a trainer, this and that. I'm like, oh, no, don't worry. And I can send a text.
Yeah.
And we can get it done. You know what I mean?
Boxing niggas is the worst, like when it comes to like promoting themselves for some reason. They don't like talking to people.
No, they just want to fight.
That's crazy though.
That's literally what they want to do. They just want to fight.
Fucking become a star. You want to talk.
Yeah, and I mean, it gets dangerous because some of them are good at that and embrace that. And then they tend to veer away from
the goal.
Not the goal, but they become more in love with the fame of it than the than the fight.
That's what I'm saying. Like a lot of them lose that hunger. Then you see them maybe once a year and shit like that.
Yeah, I think the once a year thing happens for a lot of fighters because the price gets so high. Because now you're not getting in the ring for 20,000, 30,000, 100,000.
Yeah, you talking about a mil or two.
Yeah, I got to see 850. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like being on set with these guys is like, how much ego is really involved versus trying to get the production out correctly? Like, are they hard to work with?
It varies. Some of them are easy to work with, and I found like the more you work them, the easier they become.
Who's your favorite person that you've worked with that like made your job like easy?
It's gonna throw a lot of people for a loop because a lot of people that I worked with didn't even like work with Broner.
Oh, AB.
And I think I had a different level of patience with AB than the people because you gotta think I'm younger. You know what I mean? I'm black. Like, I get it.
Reflect a little bit and what he talking about.
I don't necessarily always agree with the wild shit that he's doing, but I get it.
AB a wild nigga.
But he's my favorite because I saw that he understood the marketing aspect of it, and he
played with the camera. This is here for me.
Yeah,
he talks so much shit.
He talks so much shit, and I found like the more that you got to know him, like the camera's off and this and that. I was like, oh, you actually kind of cool. Like you chill. You know what I mean? Like
yeah. Oh, so he has an off switch.
He has an off switch,
oh.
And I think a lot of people didn't see the off switch. And one time I remember got to do a media workout with him. Right? It's in Cincinnati. It's over the summer. Hot as hell. We out there. He gets in the ring, and it's outdoors. He gets in the ring. He's like, yeah, this and that. Yeah, fuck this media workout. Y'all want to see my media workout? Y'all to come down to my gym. And like, what you call packing up. And I'm like, I got work and shit I need to be doing. So I said, yo, AB, like, can you just like do a quick like a little interview of this? And he goes, no. We do it at my gym after. So come down to my gym. You do it.
Pack up all the equipment and shit.
Right? So we go down to his gym. This motherfucker decided today's the day I'm doing a full 2.5 hour.
Oh, real workout. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking around the gym. And he got banners up for like baby band camp, which is like band camp is what he called his crew. And it was like a bunch of like young boxers, shit like that. That he like, I guess he paid for like their tournaments and other stuff. Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
He's personable.
Yeah, I was like, oh, this motherfucker's a little, you know what I mean? Like he does young and dumb and idiotic shit.
But he's putting spotlights on other people.
Yeah, and he knew how to play the villain and all stuff like that. And he never like, you asked for an interview or ask him, he never gave me trouble with stuff like that.
Yeah.
So he's one of my Wilder. I remember Wilder like untelevised fight days and stuff like that.
Shit.
And he was always super cool and pleasant and like good to work with.
We always liked his story more than anything. Like as far as like in the ring technique and all that shit, all right, cool. But like the storyline where he came from, it was.
Oh yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing storyline. And the thing with Wilder, like, no matter what you say, you got to put him as one of the greatest heavyweights because his title run was so long.
Yeah.
He was undefeated. I think his biggest attribute became his biggest
detriment.
Flaw, which was that right hand. That's all he. You know what I mean?
The skill aspect, it didn't catch up, but he caught up with a lot of people with the hammer.
Yeah, because you get older, it slow down, the reflexes ain't like it. You know what I mean? And that's where the technique comes in.
When the back start going, the knees start looking.
Yeah, he had that technique.
Yeah.
He was good. Charlo Brothers, always been good.
Niggas crazy.
Yeah, they was kind of crazy before, but
yeah,
like when they was younger. But like, I think now. But I mean,
they settle into who they are.
Yeah, another like, cameras not rolling and stuff like that. Regular people.
Nice.
Cool as hell. Always good to me.
You ever got a chance to work with Tank?
Early on, like small like media workout stuff with Tank kind of stuff, because I was at Showtime until 2018. So 2012, 2018.
So he didn't even hit the pay-per-view scene and all that.
He was still like early on the card. You know what I mean? He wasn't headline anything yet. Like when I was leaving, he was just starting to headline.
Did you see it though? Like what he has become? Yeah.
You saw it. And everybody let you know. Like whether it was Broner or Floyd or other trainers in the gym, they be like, oh nah, Tank's the next one.
Okay.
Like it was like known, like he was the one. Yeah, and he was super quiet then, and I think because then you're kind of learning the space and everything like that.
And, you know,
he was always cool. Even funny, the guys who I thought weren't cool. Not that they weren't cool. It's just that there was a language barrier there.
Oh.
So
did you work on the one where the guy drank his own piss?
Who was that? That was
versus Floyd.
Oh no, that was HBO days. My young girl, whatever.
Some shit. One of them niggas. They drank. I said, what?
No.
Okay, all right.
I worked at Kodo. A few times.
You didn't speak English though, right?
A little bit. Broken
English.
Worked at Canelo a few times.
New Canelo's funny as hell.
I worked.
Hey, get the fuck out of here because I'm gonna fuck you out right now, motherfucker.
English Canelo? Funny as a mother.
Canelo Lara, Canelo Trout, Canelo. Oh, who else did he fight? Canelo Lara, Canelo Trout, Canelo Angulo. Like I did all of those.
Oh, you've been
early fights.
Circuit.
Yeah.
But we forgetting the part where you won the Emmy.
Oh yeah.
So, like we can't leave that out.
So won an Emmy on Mayweather versus, what's it, Berto? I want to say Mayweather versus Berto.
The last
Mayweather,
one.
yeah, and Mayweather versus Canelo.
Okay.
See the Canelo packet. It's funny because there's two of them. I'll let you know for sure. And I look
Shit,
at
big fly. See that?
But the funny part, the first one, they gave me a plaque for, like, because I don't think we anticipated actually winning the Emmys.
Yeah.
And now Floyd came, because we were doing this for years before Floyd.
Yeah.
And then Floyd comes and we started winning Emmys.
Nice.
And I was kind of like, damn, I only got a plaque. You know, but I think they didn't anticipate, because you got to buy those statues. You have to buy those trophies.
What?
You have to buy those.
Wow.
You win.
Yeah.
Right? And all right, cool. So
you win on paper.
It's $800. It was like, I think it was $800 at the time.
Yeah.
To get one of the statues.
Okay.
And I don't think the company was like prepared to actually buy all them statues and shit like that.
The company has. I thought you had to come out of pocket to get your own plaque.
I mean, I'm sure I can. Actually, some people did come out of pocket, and I just didn't do it because some people did get them, and I was like, nah, I want to get one. So then next year, I think they were kind of prepared for it.
Yeah.
And we got it because you got to think there's so many people that work on it.
Yeah.
Because at this point,
what was your title at this time when you won them?
First time was associate producer. Second time was writer producer.
Okay.
So, because now it expanded, because before it was like, oh, we like 5 of us go out and we shoot 2 days at this person's house, and now it goes to people got to spend weeks there.
Yeah, because they do like three episodes, and then they do an epilogue and.
Mm-hmm. So, like a lot of the stuff during camp and stuff it's hard to break the team up that much. You can't have your whole team. There's other shit we got to do besides the fight. So it expanded to like, that's when we start having a bunch of freelancers, have some ill freelancers, whatever that, like, y'all just gonna reside in Vegas for 2 months until the fight kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Damn.
Yeah, it was like that.
A lot of work.
Yeah, there was times I was on the road 2-3 weeks at a time.
You know, I always wondered if you got 2 different camps in 2 different locations.
You set up 2 different crews. So what happens is there's a producer, 2 or 3 camera guys, and an audio guy for each
camp.
Damn,
that shit must be a bitch to put together.
Yeah, I mean, after a while it became.
Oh, like repetitiveness becomes okay.
And then where we would kind of like kick in is like when it came to the stuff outside of the normal everyday camp kind of stuff. So when it's the press conference, when it's that stuff, that's when like the regular people who work at, you know what I mean, who have a 9 to 5 will actually go there. Like sometimes one of us will be on the road with like interchange. Like, all right, you did a week, I'll go do a week, you know?
Yeah.
But that's when kind of like everybody forms. That and the epilogues, like those are beasts because there's 20-something cameras, so.
Right, you seen that, it looks bloody and bruised and.
Yeah, so some people just on the corner people. Some people, family. I'm shooting the family. I used to shoot Floyd's family a lot. I shot the opponent's family, you know, like
niggas' wives be crying and shit.
Yeah,
you gotta get all that those
and you gotta
sensational moments.
You gotta be there.
Yeah.
That sometimes you get the crowd. We just gotta go get the good shit from the crowd. Yeah, because that means a lot. That helps a lot.
Who's there and all of that.
Yeah, sometimes a lot of people. Dave Chappelle gave me the coolest no ever.
The coolest no.
Coolest no ever. I was like, yo, Dave, like for Showtime. He's like, thank you, nah. And I was like, damn, I'm not even offended. Like, all right.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson once ripped my head off once.
What? For what?
Yeah.
Mike is Mike, though. Like
it was like Showtime 25th or 30th anniversary for boxing or whatever. So the whole year we're collecting sound bites and favorite moments from people. Yeah. Mike is there, and Mike has his daughter on his lap, right? Now me, I probably should have had more wherewithal to like realize the situation.
Don't run up on Mike.
But I always tell people like, oh yeah, you know, you can just get a hey, happy anniversary to Showtime, this and that. And now I would follow up with a question for you.
Yeah.
Like, yo, so what's your favorite moment? You know what I mean? Something like that. did that with Mike. Like, yo, Mike, can you say happy? Mike said, yeah, no problem. I said, happy 30th anniversary. I said, yo, so what was your favorite moment fighting on Showtime? You motherfucker, I thought we was gonna, you said one question. Yo, it's Barclays Center, right?
Yeah.
Mike might be in the middle of the aisle, right? I'm probably like 2 from like the end. Oh. This motherfucker's looking for somebody to put his child so he can get up.
And come for you?
And I'm like, oh shit. Right? And I'm like, nah. And I look over at security, the fucking security guard goes like this.
Like, nah, nigga, you in your own.
He turns his, and I said, oh shit, right? So I'm like, nah, like it's just, and the camera guy, shout out to him, this guy Anthony, been working with Mike since the early 90s and stuff like that. Like he's an older guy. He said, nah, Mike, it's cool. Remember me, Tony, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's cool. He said, oh, thank God. Cause it's like, Mike was ready to fuck me up that day. And Barclays security just turned their back on me.
Yo, shout out to Brooklyn, man. You know? That's what we do to Queens guys sometimes, you know?
Man, I was like, Mike a piece of shit.
So like, let's say if you was to have one boxer to say you want to jump back into that field, who would you choose?
I got to be a current boxer?
Current boxer.
What am I choosing them for? To like
entertainment wise, carry the vision that you have. Is there anybody that gives you that nostalgic feel that it could hit another Emmy in that under your tutelage?
Oh, entertainment wise, it's Ryan Garcia.
Oh shit!
I'm not even a huge like Ryan Garcia fan, but he's the one who has like the personality, understands like the marketing, stuff like that. You starting to see Tank
speak a little bit more,
kind of get it now, and he's like realized like, oh, I'm gonna do some funny and goofy stuff for like the memes and like, you know what I mean? But I think Ryan Garcia is something there, and I think it's just a different kind of perspective because I don't know much about Ryan's background. Maybe that's also why.
I don't know shit either, but I just know he remind me like a B2K kid.
Yeah,
NSYNC-ish.
And I feel like we're gonna hear a lot. Like Tank's story,
it's
gonna be a familiar story we heard. You know what I mean? Ryan may be a different story. I feel the same about Jake Paul. You know, like that's a story I like. Oh,
rich kid and how you find
because like
shit. Yeah.
You don't have to do this.
You don't.
You like people that box. A lot of them, they ended up boxing because
they needed poverty.
They needed to.
Education wise, he wasn't there.
If you ever want to choose who's gonna win a fight, find out who grew up the hardest, the hungriest. Yeah. So guaranteed. That's why Cubans, they be winning.
Yeah, they be over on rafts and all types of shit to get over here.
They win.
Shark infested water because they have to.
Yo, I asked Iverson and Laura once. Right? I said, yo, what was your favorite gift for Christmas? Because it was around Christmas time. He just starts laughing, and I'm like, what happened? And then the translator's like, he said, there's no Christmas in Cuba.
Oh, shit.
And I was like, this motherfucker gonna win. Yeah, but I would have to go Ryan Garcia. Because I think that's just going to be a different story. Like Ryan Garcia, Jake Paul, because like, you don't have to do this. So there's something off with you. There's literally something off with you.
That you're even willing to want to get punched in your face.
Because even Floyd, he grew up tough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, now, the fight is because I'm afraid of ever being back there. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
The necessity to keep going.
Yeah.
Because you know what that shit look like back there. If you never seen it before.
Right. And
go back to what you always had.
And I was there, and I say it all the time. I said it when I was at Showtime. Because people I used to walk into Gleason's and other stuff like that. And at the time, you're not used to a young black guy working in production. You're like, oh, you sparring today? What's up? You getting some work? I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that shit. Right? And I was like, I don't know if I could get
punched in the face.
Yeah, like first it takes mad long to make money. Right?
Yeah. Boxing is a broke sport.
And then you're gonna tell me I just walked away with $2 million or $3 million. Now I'm gonna get back up and get punched in the face again tomorrow? I don't have that in me.
And that $2 million is divided by whatever city you at.
Yep.
Your team. Your representation. God forbid you got a belt. They get some bread.
That's why you see a lot of fighters change trainers. Because what happens is the trainer, your purse goes up, the trainer purse go up. The trainer ain't the same $200 trainer no more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That raised you.
The trainer's like, yeah, all right, well, now my resume says I made a 2-time world champion.
Yeah. So.
And then the fighters start to believe, I ain't got to pay you that much. I can do it with a different trainer.
Yeah.
Get worked.
Lose, and then and it's over. Paydays is done for everybody.
Yeah. I'm trying to think who else I would have to say Ryan Garcia.
Ryan, okay. So
I feel like it's like being able to capture Dennis Rodman almost.
Dennis Rodman is a wild comparison, but I see it because Dennis Rodman was so unconventional. Like, people don't like Ryan because he's like, I guess our culture likes certain things and they like to see it in a certain, like, present in a certain manner. But that motherfucker trends. He has commercials, Gatorade.
He knows what he's doing.
His team is probably amazing.
Yeah, and he
knows when to look at the camera and say certain salacious shit as well.
He took the Floyd thing, and the thing that Floyd did well, same shit that Trump does well, gotta be divisive.
You were in charge of the fight. You were aggressive and trying and taking advantage of what you saw as a flaw.
You know what I'm gonna do? Because you don't ever give me a face shake. You know that? So I'm gonna go and let you talk to Victor Ortiz, all right? I'm through. They put somebody else up and give me an interview.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
You never give me a face shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know shit about boxing. You ain't shit. You not shit.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
You won't do.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Split the waters.
Divide the room in half.
Right. Most people try to unify.
Yeah.
When you're divisive, especially in stuff like that, especially when it comes to like competitive combat, people that choose your side are riding with you.
Wow.
And I'm with you just because, you know what I mean? And when you're divisive like that, what happens? So the next person fans, when they come over, right? Or the people who don't like that person, now they just rooting for you because they don't like that person. And then Floyd realized, I don't care. The more people that don't like me, the better. Because the more they don't
see me lose.
And Ryan Garcia has somehow mastered making us not like him.
Yeah.
Right? But making other people like him still.
And then beat the shit out of the kid.
Right. So he's like, yo, I got some girl. I can make some girls like me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I get the Hispanic community to like me, this and that.
If motherfucker don't even speak Spanish.
Don't speak. Like, he knows, like, I could do that.
Yeah.
And if you're divisive enough, you got enough people to hate you, enough people to like you, they're going to show. Because I dislike you so much, you can have my $75 just so I can see you get punched in the face.
Listen, he got the formula that I need. Ryan, can you hire me? Yo, I appreciate
people you hate them, man.
This conversation right here was more.
Okay, tell the people you hate real quick.
Before we even go anywhere.
Who you hate? No, fucking
shit, there's a couple people. I don't like Haney. I just don't like it. But that's.
I haven't met Haney, but
we could bring this all together again, right? Kind of the fashion aspect of it.
Yeah.
What do you think about the boxing fashion world? Like,
I think the boxing fashion world is always late, and they follow other sports.
Okay.
Right?
I see that.
Because boxers, a lot of times, want to be as big as the basketball player, wants to be as big as the football player. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because boxing obviously isn't as popular as a sport, especially amongst like younger viewers.
It's like number 14 or some shit, like 13, 14 in the.
And like younger people don't necessarily watch boxing. Boxing like tends to be like an older.
I tell all y'all motherfuckers, I said boxing is a bunch of old broke motherfuckers that upset, they divide. It's not a sport where like you could like two different people and it'd be okay.
Yeah, because the difference that I've seen with boxing and MMA.
Yeah.
Right? And I've worked in boxing way more than I have like MMA stuff. Boxing is like elitist. Where it's like, oh, well, you have to like this fighter and this technical jab. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
MMA is like inclusive, where it's like, oh no, just come watch these motherfuckers fight, and then you just figure it out as you go.
Motherfuckers be in a parking lot drinking a beer and just walk in.
Yes, you can have a conversation with somebody who's really into MMA.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like welcoming, like, oh, this and that. You have a conversation with somebody who's like into boxing.
You're not a hardcore. You're
you don't
casual.
Know this? You've never seen Hagler Hearns? Like, yeah, they start doing shit like that.
Yeah.
And then that's like, you don't get new fans that way.
Yeah.
So boxing probably has to work on the community aspect of it.
Come back for you. Just you can fix this.
I don't know. You know, it's funny. I've thought about it a few times. Like, oh, maybe I should go back to.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think I like podcasting too much now.
I ain't mad at it, man, at all.
Yeah.
Yo, I appreciate the
yes,
conversation.
Indeed. You should do it again.
This was good, man.
Yeah.
I told y'all we was gonna do something different this season. Season 2. Darnell, Reemo. Let's talk fashion.
And I didn't tell you about that time. No,
Yo, we out of here, man. Woo, that was all right.